good timing to talk to you. Last night, your next fight got announced. Another main event on Fox. I know you're campaigning hard for it, but what does it mean to actually get this fight with Bader now it's official?
It means a lot. I have the utmost respect for Bader and his crew. I'm just a guy that wants to fight the best. And Bader feels like he's next in line. But I also feel like, to be next in line, you have to beat somebody in the top 3. You know what I mean? And not somebody that was out for basically 2 years, and then you feel like, okay, I deserve it now. Just me as a athlete, I and an alpha male, I guess that's what you want to call me. I wouldn't feel like I accomplished anything like that, So if I was him, I would definitely want to fight the best. So if he really feels that he's up to the test, he should have asked to fight me or somebody else higher.
Yeah, and what did you think of his fight with Rashad? Because I know you and Rashad are pretty close, trained a lot together. Were you impressed by what he did, or what did you make of that performance?
Bader looked like Bader. Bader did what he could, but, that still shows you the type of athlete Rashad is, to be out for 2 years and still go the distance, 3 rounds with a guy that's been active a lot. So, both guys did the best that they could do with each other. And, it was an okay performance.
Bader's coming off a big win streak. Do you think that win over him puts you right back in contention?
I think so. I think it'll put me right back in title contention. I never saw myself out of title contention. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a war no matter what. He's hungry. I think he's pretty upset that I think he was told that he gets the next title shot if he beats Rashad, and now he has to fight me. I think it was just a timing thing, too, with Jon being reinstated and Bader just winning. We all kind of knew that if Jon was to get reinstated, he was going to get the title shot right away. It was either Bader sit out another 6 months or he stays active and keeps getting paid.
And what do you make of just the style matchup? Because, the reaction was Anthony's going to get him early because Bader doesn't really finish fights that often. But he goes in there, statistically speaking, I think he's the least hit fighter in the division, per minute when he's in there. And how do you just see the matchup going down? Are you pretty confident that you'll be able to get him out of there like a lot of people seem to think you will? Or how do you see it going down, especially with 5 rounds?
I believe I'll catch him sooner or later. But Bader's good. He might not have the most entertaining fights, but he's a good fighter. I don't know. We'll see. I've read some of the comments, about me putting Bader out in the first round and all that other stuff. I really don't pay attention to it. If it happens, it happens. But I'm definitely going there and trying to knock his head off. That's a given. But I know I have to watch out for. He's a strong guy. He's a big guy. He's a powerful guy. He has great wrestling. So. Wrestling is I'm a wrestler at heart too, and the elite guys definitely take me down, but when I'm saying elite, I'm speaking like the guys caliber of Daniel Cormier, and I don't think Bader's up to that level of wrestling yet, but he's a wrestler. Anything can happen, and this is a fight.
Yeah, and does fighting again on Fox do anything for you? Because every time you've been on there, you've had incredible performances.
I don't even realize it. It's a fight. It don't matter if it's pay-per-view, Fox, or in the backyard. It doesn't matter.
Having Jones back, does that what motivates you to having Jon Jones back to the UFC brings you and so much motivation to finally get that fight that you
I was, with Jon coming back, it definitely lights a fire under my ass. I think it lights a fire under everybody because now we know that it's gotten serious again, To me, Jon was always the champ regardless of anything. Of course, he didn't lose a fight to have the title taken away from him. It was his actions outside of fighting, but that's a whole nother story, you know what I mean? But this is all about fighting. To me, Jon was still the champ regardless if he was here or not.
Where do you rank yourself then? Where do you think you fit into this division?
Somewhere.
The style matchup with Bader, though, your last fight, you showed off some of your ground game in there. I know you said you want to continue improving. Obviously, you're working on everything. But do you think this is maybe not the kind of fight to go in there and maybe show off your wrestling? This is one where it's good. Or how do you feel about it? I don't know.
I feel I can take him down if I want to. I mean, it's a fight. I'm not afraid of his wrestling, that's for sure, but I'm aware of it. We all know he's going to go for a takedown. That's a given. It's not one fight that Bader hasn't went for a takedown. I'm not going to be the guy that he says, okay, I don't think I'm going to try and take this guy down. I'm going to try and strike with him. He'll try, then he'll try and take me down, and that's just the name of the game when it comes to him.
Jon Jones coming back, is it better for you, like, because you have this kind of unfinished business with him, and maybe it's better for you to get the title if he coming back to
with Jon coming back, and if we do fight for a title, I always felt like I have the upper hand every fight. But Jon is tricky. You know what I mean? He's long, he's athletic. He catches you with weird kicks and weird elbows at different angles. I mean, you just have to be ready for Jon Jones. That's just the guy you can never really plan for. You just have to go in there and fight his ass.
What did you think of the fight between Cormier and Gustafsson?
It's crazy. It's a crazy fight. I think both of them got tired after the third round. They didn't look like themselves the first after 3 rounds. The fourth and fifth round was just like, all right, whoever's going to throw the most punches is going to win the fight. And DC pulled it off. Like he says, embrace the grind. He definitely was grinding it out. He was throwing punches even though he wasn't hitting a lot. He was throwing punches to stay active, and I think that's what got him over the top.
And what does watching a fight like that do for you? Because you talk to some guys, they're like, oh, I don't want to ever get in a crazy war like that. But other ones are like, that just motivates me to, reach that next gear where, you're in a fight and there's moments you can't really train for when you're that deep and you're getting pushed that hard. Is that something you'd like to experience or motivates you to experience, or how do you feel about it?
Well, when I see a fight like that, it definitely makes me want to train harder. So I don't get in a war like that, But when you see fights like that, that lets you know how tough these guys are, how good these guys are, how athletic these guys are, and how dangerous these guys are, I don't think it's good being in a war like that. I think it can definitely do some things to you. Like with Gus, I was thinking about it. To me, I'm like, man, his last three or four fights have been pretty tough. He lost to Jon, and that was a battle. Then he beat Jimmy Manuel. Then he fought me. And then he fought DC. I was like, dude, you keep taking these hits, it's not going to be too pretty for you at the end of the day. But, I mean, this is what we signed up for, But I don't want to be in a battle like that. But if it comes down to it, I'm not going to back down from it.
How about Cormier saying that he wants to take like 6 months off or whatever, that he's earned time off? Do you understand that? Or is the guy that's trying to get right back, do you say that's selfish of you to stay out of the ring?
Daniel is his own man. I mean, I don't know why he would say he wants 6 months off. Maybe he wants time to heal, spend more time with his family, train more, and just perfect his craft. I don't know. You know what I mean? Do I see it as being selfish? No. But I want to say this. I don't feel like he's earned it enough to say I need 6 months off. Like if Jon was still the champ, after 2 years of whooping ass, you say, dude, I need 6 or 8 months off. You deserve those 6 or 8 months, you know what I mean, off, because you've put in the time and put in the work. I'm not saying Daniel didn't do that, but I think he should keep grinding. That's to me, in my opinion, that's what Daniel does. He should just keep grinding before it gets too late. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of hungry guys coming up. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of time before his body's gonna say no more. Give me 6 months off again. You might not be performing the same. So he needs to stay active. You know what I mean?
What do you expect from Jon's next performance?
I'm sorry. Who asked? Who was asking the question?
What do you expect from Jones' next performance to be? Do you believe he's going to be as violent, as great as he was before this time up?
Do I think he's going to be as violent? Oh, hell yeah. I think if he fights Daniel, which I'm pretty sure he is, I think he's going to be 10 times as violent. But I also think Daniel's going to be 10 times as violent too. You saw the first fight. The first, I would say, 2-3 rounds, Daniel came out so explosive, and I was surprised that he can keep up the stamina that he did for 10-15 minutes. And Jon didn't make it look easy, but he didn't make it look that hard either. You know what I mean? So I think Jon is gonna definitely do his thing. I think the next time they fight, Jon is definitely gonna try and put him away. I think the first fight, I think Jon was kind of just playing around with him a little bit, and to see what he had to offer. But I think this time Jon is definitely going to try and end it, just to put a stamp on everything.
And we're obviously down here for a reason. There's good. We're down here for a reason. Main event: Vitor Belfort, Dan Henderson. I know Vitor's next teammate of yours. He's left Black Zillions now. But what do you think of that matchup? How do you see it playing out?
It's going to be a hell of a fight. I think Vitor can still do his thing. He's still explosive. Vitor is Vitor at the end of the day. But Dan is Dan Henderson at the end of the day, too. What is it? 1-1 with the two of them.
Yeah.
They fought in Pride before, and I saw their fight. It was a good fight. Vitor didn't look like he did the first time they fought. It was a different Vitor the second time they fought. So, they have a rubber match going on right now. So we'll see who pulls the trigger and lands that big, who lands the big right and who lands the big left.
Yeah, and then another fight in your weight class, Patrick Cummins and Glover Teixeira. I know, Glover was looking for a big fight, maybe someone like yourself, but you ended up getting up this one. What do you think of that fight? Because, that's, I'm sure, someone you could eventually be fighting in the future, the winner of that.
I think that's going to be a good fight, too. Patrick is still, in my opinion, he's still working his way up the ranks and stuff. Still a dangerous fighter. To me, he's a lot like Phil Davis, where he kind of just wants to grab you and take you down and just ground and pound you. Kind of the old Tito Ortiz style, Glover is definitely well-rounded. He has pretty solid wrestling, great jiu-jitsu, and great striking. So I think it's going to be real interesting because the last time Glover fought a straight hardcore wrestler, which was Phil Davis, it didn't go his way. You know what I mean? And I think Cummings is the exact same way. He's a hardcore wrestler. So we'll see, though. I'm sure Glover made his adjustments that he needed to make for the fight, and he's going to be fine.
The last time you were here, you were fighting against Vitor Belfort, and
Was that 4 years ago? 5 years
yeah,
ago?
and you changed a lot since that.
Yeah.
And how do you think that Vitor Belfort has changed since that fight?
He's gotten older. He's gotten wiser. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. I really can't tell you.
How did you and the Black Zillions team react when he decided to leave the team?
I have no reaction. Okay. People come, people go. That's just what it is. It wasn't like he helped us start the team. You know what I mean? So if he would have stayed, it would have been cool. Since he left, it's fine. No, we don't have any hard feelings towards the man. You know what I mean? I see him, I still give him a hug, shake his hand. I have nothing against him. I don't think anybody actually on the team has anything against Vitor. And I'm the person that's in the gym. I find out everything last because I just go in, train, and leave. You know what I mean? So if there's some bickering and all that type of stuff, I know nothing about it until it's 2 weeks later.
Anthony, what's the last year or so been like for you outside of the cage, man? We've talked to you a lot about your fights, but now that it's not right before your fight, man, you had the instance with your ex-girlfriend, the thing on Facebook. People, just a friend?
He wasn't that.
I guess what's it been like, man? It just seems like you've been criticized so much. I see hate that you get on social media and things like that. What's it been like for you? Do you feel like you've been miscategorized or mischaracterized, or are those incidents you feel bad about?
People are gonna believe and say whatever the media puts out at the end of the day. You know, nobody was around, nobody was there, nobody saw anything, so people are just going to go by whatever the media says. That's fine with me. I mean, they can believe whatever they want to believe. I know who I am. My team, my family, they know who I am. And that, to me, that's all that matters. You know, I mean, every now and then, sometimes a fan, their opinion can get to me when it's a positive opinion. You know what I mean? Because then that's when I feel like they're actually trying to connect with me. You know what I mean? But when it's somebody negative, I laugh at them and just sometimes I go along with what they say, and then they can't say anything else. You know, they say, "Oh, you suck." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." And then when I say that, I never hear another word from them. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I shut it down.
What's that like for you? Because it sounds like you think the media got it wrong. Like we didn't report it right. I mean,
I know it wasn't reported.
so what's it like for you? What's it like for you? Because I'm assuming that you would want to be like, I gotta clear my name. I want to tell these people they're idiots. But you, the whole time, you kind of remained quiet about it and just said,
I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut, because no matter what I say, somebody's gonna write it the way they want to write it. Somebody's gonna read it the way they want to read it. It's kind of pointless. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I feel like I have nothing to prove to anybody but my team and my family. And do I have something to prove to the fans when it comes to stuff outside of the cage? I don't think so, because they want to see me fight. I don't think they want to see me feeding my dogs and knowing stuff about that outside of the cage. You know what I mean? But I'm not against it for letting them know who I am outside of the cage either. You know what I mean? Even though I am a pretty private person, you know. So a lot of my teammates have no idea who I am, and they've been with me since day one. Like I said, I go in the gym, I train, and I leave. I leave still in the clothes that I trained in. I'm ready to get out of there and just go do my own thing, you know. So that's just who I am.
does it bother you when people talk about your dogs? Because I see you on social media. You know, you got them in your car, and it seems like you love dogs. But I see a lot of people saying you mistreat dogs.
Cause the ears were cropped. So what? It's the ears cropped. It ain't like I didn't do anything illegal to them, so I don't know why everybody's talking. Once again, people are going to have their own opinion. They're going to say what they want to say. It doesn't matter to me. I live my life to the fullest, and I'm happy. If they're not happy with what I do, hell, the other one's going to have a bad day and not sleep right. I'm good.